I'm here for a very special occasion, and it's for the launch of this new Ferrari Roma. So here we are on this very wet day on Goodwood Circuit in a very fast and very powerful Ferrari. Now, this will be my first time driving the car, so I don't want to make a fool of myself, but I've got somebody here who is an expert. His name is Ross. Ross, over to you, my friend. This car is a 3.8 litre twin-turbo V8. It'll do 0 to 62 in about 3.4 seconds. Top speed of 199 miles an hour, 760 Newton meters of torque, and goodness me, does it know how to use it. It may not look like your usual Ferrari actually. It's a bit softer in its lines, a little bit more sophisticated, but this is supposed to be the everyday Ferrari. But with those performance statistics, it makes you wonder just how everyday it is. Actually, to the Ferrari Roma driver, an example of everyday probably means driving this beautiful car through the scenic valleys of Italy. Oh, yeah. It is indeed a car you will buy for sheer driving pleasure, and if this was the long way to the office, then in the Roma it is the route you'd be taking every day. Yet the Roma is indeed a technological step change for Ferrari. Compared to the similarly front-engine V8 Portofino, the Roma is a totally new design. Stiffer, lighter, faster, wider, longer and more powerful than the Portofino, and targeted at competitors like Porsche's 911, Bentley's Continental GT and Aston Martin's new Vantage. But let me take you back to a very cold and wet day at the Goodwood race circuit in good old Blighty. Wow, so very first drive of the Roma on the race circuit in the most challenging conditions you could ever imagine. But I have to say, it just feels so Ferrari already, and this track is so unbelievably slippery. There's so many new technical innovations with this car from Ferrari. Not least is the 8-speed gearbox. The changes are so much quicker. I mean, they're almost instant. Wow, this is so fast. There's something really special about Ferrari, and it's the noise and the progression, the feel, the engagement, and it's really tempting to go much too fast, but I won't, because this is a lot of car, a lot of money, and I don't want to be the first one to take it off the track, but the instructors told me to be really careful. Watch. Woo. So this is supposed to be the gentleman's Ferrari, or gentleperson's Ferrari, let's say, but whoa, but just that little bit of acceleration on there, and you can just feel the twitch, but I'm frightening myself. The car's actually quite cool, it's quite well sorted. You just kind of need to be smooth and progressive with the input, as you would with any car like this, but wow, what a motor car. As much as it's got all this power, and you know it's incredibly fast, the feel is such that unless you're an idiot, you won't really exceed it. But I so want to be an idiot. Boy. Oh well. I'd like to do a few more, but that was enough. That was enough for me to really say I truly enjoyed myself. First drive on track of the Ferrari Roma. I don't think I've driven a car this year that I have personally wanted to own as much as I have this one. Maybe it's the understated looks, those sleek lines combined with its Ferrari DNA. And whilst £170,000 is not an insignificant amount of money, just look at what you'll be taking home.